So I had this idea to do this video of like what you don't know about me, where I can clarify things and you guys can just get to know who I am, I guess, as a person, outside of just making corporate cringe videos and talking about how to get a job and how to leave a job. Maybe you guys will find something surprising or something interesting. If you're watching this video and you watch my live streams, there might be some crossover in the questions, but a lot of people that watch my channel don't watch my live streams because ain't nobody got time for 2.5 hours of me ranting, and you know, I don't blame them. So I got one that says, do you have a contract job? No, I don't have a contract job. I don't do any freelancing for any companies. YouTube is my main source of income, but YouTube helps diversify my income to other things like my website, grindreel.com, where I have like some products and stuff. I have some affiliates, a little bit of merch. So I have different revenue sources, but they all kind of stem from just doing this YouTube thing. What kind of motorcycle do you ride? If you don't know, I have a 1050 Speed Triple 2012 Triumph. It is the color red and black with dual exhaust. It sounds amazing. And just FYI, if you didn't know, motorcycles that are the color red have at least 10 horsepower more than non-color red motorcycles. It also increases your chance of getting a ticket by 99%. They say money can't buy happiness, but it can buy a motorcycle, and then I get you pretty close. Another question that I get that's not really super related to the channel, even though I've made a video on like me being overweight and getting in shape and stuff, is what's your gym routine? My gym routine is pretty simple. It's just your basic blow split. It's your basic bro split. So Monday's chest, Tuesday's back, Wednesday shoulders, Thursday is legs, but something always comes up on Thursday, so you somehow miss leg day every week. Imagine that. Friday is arms, Saturday and Sunday is off. Sometimes I'll throw in an off day in between those days. I usually don't do 5 days in a row, but I try to get 5 days minimum per week. My diet, really, it's just intermittent fasting. So I don't eat until 1 p.m. and before that I just have like caffeine, or a lot of people drink coffee. I'll usually drink pre-workout before the gym, and that's enough caffeine for me throughout the day. And then after 1 p.m. I just kind of eat whatever I want. I have an idea of the amount of calories that I'm getting, but I don't track my macros, I don't track my calories, I don't count or anything like that. I just look in the mirror, and when I see the, there's only 2 abs left, the top 2 abs, then I'm like, okay, time to stop eating so many carbs and start cutting some calories here, Josh, and that's basically how I manage it. Next question that I get when I say everyone should work remote is, what would make you go to an office? Nothing. Absolutely nothing would make me go to an office. Usually people say, well, wouldn't you get lonely, Josh? And my response to that is, there's a difference between being alone and being lonely. And then second, just because you work remotely and you don't go to an office doesn't mean that you have to close your door and sit isolated in your room all day. It just means that you're remote. It doesn't mean that you can't go to the beach or a coffee shop or a hotel lobby or literally anywhere in the world, go work at your friend's house, play video games between tickets, whatever it is that you want to do. Remote just offers that flexibility. Remote doesn't mean that you're remote on a remote island in the remote Pacific Ocean. Like, you gotta stop thinking about it like that. A lot of people say, well, that face-to-face communication is just, you can't replace that. Okay, to me, there's no difference than if someone's over your shoulder pointing at your screen, or if you're sharing screens and someone's moving their mouse around whatever it is they're highlighting for you to notice. I don't know if you guys have ever played any online games, but me personally, I used to play a lot of WoW, and I've had better relationships with random people in a random raid group in Raid Finder than I've had working in person with coworkers or colleagues 8 hours a day. Same with Battlefield squads, same with League of Legends teams. That whole argument of we work better in person just doesn't cut it with me. Here's another question. Do you enjoy living in Utah? Oh man. Utah is okay. Utah has basically every single outdoor activity that you could ever want to do, but you have to remember, if you want to go on a hike on the weekends to get away, that's where everyone else is going on the weekend to get away. So you end up seeing everyone in both places. All of the tourist places is where everyone goes to take the vacation, and then when they're not taking the vacation during the week, they're still back in the city. So it's like you can't really avoid the crowd. And then Utah has like this strange culture of either you're just a complete party animal, or you're like really devout and you're a conservative person, and there's not a whole lot of like middle ground there. I'm not partying hard, and I don't personally think that I'm like super conservative either. And there's just not a lot of like middle ground here in the state of Utah. So it's been difficult to find like-minded people. So the culture is it's a little strange. How much would it take to move to Silicon Valley? I don't want to move to Silicon Valley, and there's really no amount of money that would get me to move to Silicon Valley because I value where I live and how I live my life more than the money I'm getting just to be there. To me, it's always been, I will take less money for more time, and time is a resource that you can't get back. I mean, money helps buy time, which gets you freedom, but you still have to trade that off, and I hate trading that off. And if I have enough money to be able to do what I want, go see a movie, buy some groceries, get a toy for my dog, or whatever it is, just live pretty simple, then I will take the time. Because to me, sitting outside my backyard on like a Tuesday afternoon, throwing the rope with my dogs is just way more valuable than someone just throwing money at you, but you have to be somewhere and be doing whatever they want you to do. Also, California has crazy high property tax. Property in general is just really expensive. You can't buy a house unless you got like $1 million in the bank. It's $800 a year to renew a business if you own a business there, and then some of the laws there are just kind of like, really? It seems a little silly. I don't know, it's just not for me. The question I get a lot is, when was the last time you played a video game? Probably a couple days ago, I was playing Overwatch. Or actually, if it wasn't that, then it was playing PUBG on my iPad in bed, because as I've gotten older, or at least what I do for a living now is I edit a lot more than I film, playing video games in there as well as editing in there, and it's just too much. So I'll just like sit on my couch and play on my iPad, and mobile games from that aspect as an older person that just doesn't want to sit in an office all day anymore, that they're kind of, I don't know, maybe you guys understand, maybe you guys are with me on that one, but what's your business structure? So Grindreel LLC is an LLC, but it is taxed as an S-Corp, and fun fact, I thought an S-Corp was gonna be really easy to do. I was like, oh, S-Corp saves you money on taxes and stuff. All right, well, let me just mark my LLC as S-Corp and submit my S-Corp paperwork to the IRS. And then before I knew it, the IRS said, hey, no problem, you are approved for an S-Corp. And I was like, all right, let's file some taxes for this S-Corp. It was 30 pages of IRS tax code specific for an S-Corp, and you have to make payroll, and you have to do payroll taxes, and then you have to pay yourself a salary, and then you have to do all of this extra stuff that you don't really have to do with an LLC. And so I thought it was gonna be a lot easier, and so I freaked out and I started hunting down some accountants. I was like, I can't do this. Do I regret it? No. S-Corp is still the way to go if you're not running a real estate business and you have a small company. It just, hands down, it just saves you money on self-employment taxes via the K1 pass-through distribution. You guys can Google that. Another question is, where did you learn about the structures? Well, I Googled it. You got LLCs, you got C-Corps, sole proprietors, and then the different variations of LLCs. You got S-Corp, partnerships, and stuff like that. But I just Googled around it, and I was like, oh, what's the difference between an S-Corp and a C-Corp and a sole proprietor? Most of the time, when you're looking up, you'll end up at LegalZoom somehow. In my opinion, don't go to LegalZoom. It'll charge you like $1 million just to open a basic LLC, which is nuts. Don't do it. Go to smallbiz.com, like with a Z, small biz. I'm not sponsored by them or anything like that. It's just like $80. Go there, open it. It's not super hard. Oh, another question. Would you ever go back to Europe? I don't think I would live in Europe. I think I just want to travel around Europe and go do all the things that my classmates got to do, because when I was there, I was just broke. We didn't have any money. I didn't have any money. I was a student. I tried to work. A lot of people in my divorce videos say, why didn't you try to get a part-time job? Well, here's actually what happened. I tried to work. I applied to a bunch of jobs in Finland while I was going to school there, and they told me no, because my Finnish language wasn't fluent enough. And so I would come home to the wife and I would say, hey, can we practice Finnish at home? She'd be like, no, English is fine, and you don't need to get a job. You just need to stay in school and study and get your degree so that you can get a job. I was like, but I really want to work. I want to have some money to do stuff on the weekends. Like, we're here together all day long. We're in each other's hair. I need to get out, and it would be good for us to have that extra income. And I was like, can you help me with my resume or help me look for some jobs and apply? No, I don't want you to work. I just want you to go to school. And so even though she said that, I still applied to jobs, but no one ever hired me. I offered to teach English to people there. I put little flyers up with the little tabs that you tear off and call me. No one ever called me. Like, I tried to hustle. I tried to make money in Finland, but it just didn't work. So I would go back to Europe and I would do all the things that I couldn't do when I was there as a student, and I didn't have any money. What would you do if you became homeless and YouTube just stopped and you had nowhere to go? I would probably make a product, the products that I already have, and kind of rebrand to push them with Facebook ads and Instagram ads, or I would teach code. I would probably maybe teach video, how to build a brand, how to set up my own website, how to market products, like how to do copyright, all those things that I've set up myself that I know work, at least for me. It's something that I think about. It's something that is possible. I don't think YouTube's going anywhere today or tomorrow, and it's certainly not my lifetime goal to continuously chase the YouTube algorithm and post every single day for 10-minute videos for the rest of my life. It's not what I want to do. I'd like to post less often, higher quality, longer videos that has more of like a TV feel, but chasing the algorithm is not fun. Once you think that you have the algorithm figured out, it changes and it just flip-flops and your views go down and your money goes down. You're like, wait, what? I thought it was going good, and it's really long term for like 20 years. I don't want to do this and depend on this alone. So I'm trying to build up my personal skills that I can sell later if I don't have YouTube or don't need YouTube or don't want to do it anymore. And then on top of that, I'm trying to save money where I can invest in real estate. But real estate is really hard when you're self-employed, because as a business owner, being self-employed, you want to business expense as much as possible, which reduces the amount of profit that you take home. This sucks because when you go to a bank to get a loan for the real estate that you saved up for, the bank's gonna say, well, how much did you take home last year? And be like, well, I made $150,000, but I business expensed $100,000 of it. So that leaves you with a net profit of $50,000. They're gonna say, oh, well, you can't really get a very good loan for $50,000. I wouldn't be able to buy the house that I live in right now with what I pay myself. The real estate's like just really hard to do self-employed, because to get into it, you have to do the opposite of what every business owner is motivated to do, which is business expense right off as much as possible. Final question that I get is, what are you gonna do when you retire? And the answer to that is, I kind of already am retired. I would work until I die. Anyways, I think a lot of people have this glorified outlook of retirement, and you just go sit on the beach and just drink Coronas and you don't do anything for the next 40 years. And that would get really boring. It'd be fun for a month, but that would get really boring. You can ask this question to rich people, like, why do they still work? They got billions and billions of dollars and they still work 40 hours a week. I'm sure they, relax on their yachts and their private jets, and I'm sure, but they still work and they don't have to run their business anymore. They could just completely check out. They don't have to do anything, but it's just part of who they are. They want to work, they want to be better, they want to challenge themselves. They're like, I know I will work until I drop. It doesn't mean I won't take a break here and there, and I won't take a vacation, but I don't know. Retirement to me would just be doing more of this without thinking about, well, did I meet enough ad revenue this month to pay my mortgage and my dad's rent and all of my bills and stuff? That is financial retirement to me, but it's not like I wouldn't want to work. The whole idea of working 40 years so that you can have 10 good ones while you've already given your youth away and now you're old. Yeah, you have a lump sum and you basically have to hope that you run out before your money does, because then you're screwed. What happens if you didn't save up enough money? And that's what all these investment firms are gonna sell you. Well, you gotta have that big, $3 million in the bank there so, you can live a nice life and just hopefully you die before you run out of money. That's really what classic retirement is. And so, pro tip, retirement should look like cash flow. What rich people do, they don't keep lump sums in their bank account at all. Yeah, they buy a nice toy here or there, but they don't keep the money in the bank account. It's always invested somewhere. It's always put away where they can't touch it, and they're generating cash flow off of their money. So stop thinking about retirement as just having a lump sum of money and, well, I got enough money to live until I die. It's not good. The goal has always been to help people in some way. What can I do with what I know to help people second guessing themselves in their life, or trying to make a choice, make that choice and help them be successful at it? Because I wish someone was there for me, and I've just kind of had to figure it out. And so it's like when you're like, oh, I've got it, I figured it out, and you want to show everybody, like I've done it. Look here, look, this is what I did. And you just want to show all your friends and your family, right? But they're the ones that didn't believe in you anyways. So all you people out there that are struggling with the idea of going out on your own or building something or making a career choice, I know what it's like. So that's the whole goal of the channel. This was kind of a rant video. Wow. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you enjoy these types of get to know me, draw my life videos, let me know and leave some questions down below, and I'm happy to get more personal with you. I know I don't show a lot behind the scenes, but I think I'm a pretty chill person to hang out with and stuff. Maybe I should do a meetup, but I don't know what we do. I really don't. I'm pretty introverted. I'd be like, okay, you guys go meet up, I'll be over here, I hope you guys have a great Tuesday. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching my videos, even when they're not corporate cringe like this one. I have some links down in the description. You can check it out if you'd like to support the channel, if you like what I'm doing here. And I'll see you in the next one.